Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of Chainsaw Man. Alright, so last time, I hope y'all doing good, because last time, we all learned how to make jam. We all learned how to make jam and jelly, and holy mackerel, is that gruesome. It was a very gruesome thing, man. You just, apparently what you do is you just have some criminals say their name a person's name blindfolded, and then you just go shoink, and you got jam. Some fresh tasting jam. At least it ain't. At least it didn't. Wasn't ragu. Ugh, give me prego. So now we're gonna see what the aftermath is. What the whole aftermath is from this whole entire thing. So let's not waste too much time, everybody, and get on with and start reading the next set of chapters. Let's get it on. Want to get it on? Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto, Chapter 29, Perfect Score. The television was giving out the report of large scale combat happening in Narama with the public safety devil hunters. Aki laid in bed, nice and quiet, all asleep and everything. His eyes open, and he shifted his head over to the side. And there he saw Denji and Power reading a manga while eating apples. Give me that apple! Give me that apple! Let me eat it! Power screamed out. No way! They're all mine! Denji screamed out from behind the door as a nursemaid pushed an old man in a wheelchair along. No apples for jerks who ran away from the enemy. I never fled, Power said. I left because I was hungry, that's all. Liar! Denji screamed out. Scaredy cat! Chicken! Ooh, that was weird. Why you? Aki quietly spoke. Who else from Division 4 is still alive? And Denji and Power stopped wrestling with each other and went to full silence. They collected their composure and answered. That shorty called Kobeni? I guess the guy with the glasses survived too, except he quit public safety. Aki was very quiet. His bangs mysteriously flapped over his eyes. Power and Denji watched on. Yeah, Makima's asking for me and Powie. We're gonna split now. Yeah, we were only here to eat your get well fruit. It was real tasty. Aki looked away from them, staring out at the window. Denji noticed what was about to happen. He approached his friend and planted the apple on the table. I'll leave you one, 'cause I'm nice. See ya. And he closed the door. Aki leaned forward, looking away. He grabbed his sword and he unsheathed it. Curse, he said. How many layers do I have left? And a pair of teeth and a tongue emerged from the darkness. 2 years. Aki was silent. He grabbed a cigarette. He placed it in his mouth and he struggled to get the lighter on. 1, 2, 3 clicks, and the flame popped. And there he saw, in his own image, Himeno with a smile on her face, holding the lighter up to him. The cigarette fell off his lips and landed hard onto the bed. He stared at it for a moment and grabbed it with his 2 fingers. Then he clutched the bed sheet, and was racked with tears, soaked in it through from cheek to chin. He buried his face deep into his arm and cried. Denji was ready to open the door again, but he stopped and thought it over. Came back 'cause I left my manga, and he's crying.
Awkward.
Denji thought.
Yeah, well, of course he's crying. Bunch of his pals at work bit it, I guess. And his buddy Himeno's dead too. It makes sense.
Denji scratched the back of his head and quietly walked away without saying a single word. He thought of Himeno's smile.
Wait a sec.
Her voice echoed in his mind.
Huh?
Her pouty lips and sensual eyes bounced off his brain.
I've got nothing.
Denji started realizing.
I can't, cry at all.
Denji thought as he reflected on Pochita.
I was sad when Pochita died.
Then then Himeno's smile appeared in his mind.
But Himeno's death, not really. She was the first person to ever say she'd be my best friend too. Am I like a heartless jerk?
Her smile continued to imprint in his mind.
Would I cry if Power died?
He said as he watched Power stare into the vending machine.
Nah, I don't think so. What if that jerk died?
As Aki continued crying in his arms, in his own arms.
That's a nope. And what if Makima died? Oh.
Denji's mouth opened in shock. So he realized, what is he crying for?
If Makima died, I'd probably be down in the dumps for a while. But I think I'd be back to happy in 3 days.
Denji approached Power as she bashed her hands on the vending machine, staring into the drinks.
'Cause for me, as long as I got 3 square meals a day, a good night's sleep, and a bath, I'm living the high life. Oh. What if I lost the good night's sleep, a bath, and the 3 square meals a day? I think I would cry for that. Yeah. Did I lose not just my organ heart, but my human heart too? Oh.
And then Denji smiled, scratching the back of his head as he looked at Power.
Whatever. Forget the serious stuff. Unhappy thoughts will only make you unhappy,
he said to Power as she wondered what the heck he was talking about.
Come on, let's go see Makima.
He pushed Power onward.
Ugh, how depressing.
And as they walked away, a pair of people arrived at the door. They slid it open, and Aki looked up, wiping the tears off his face. It was Kuro-san Tendo, stepping on in with a smile on his face. Excuse us. Hello. What? Aki was a little shocked. What's this now? You ready to climb?
Should we step out and let him cry?
Who are you two? You don't look like Christ lovers. Are you publicans or something? Libertarians? Don't be libertarians.
We're from Kyoto. We're here to trade special division for at my Masterclass. Can I eat that apple? Yeah, try it, us.
Meanwhile, at a cemetery, Makima guided Power and Denji past all the gravestones marked in the forms of crosses, many of them tilted to the side, some falling over. It was straight out of giving them Evangelion vibes. Makima spoke.
The hotel incident and this latest attack prove that the enemy forces are targeting you, Denji. I was planning to strengthen Division 4, but then most of you went and died. Are you going to train us, Miss Makima?
Denji said.
Unfortunately, I'm about to get quite busy, so instead I'm introducing you to someone perfect for the job. He'll be training you.
Denji and Power looked up and saw who it was. It was some awesome dude staring out at the gravestones. He had earrings, 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Strange hair color. Makima looked back.
This is...
Shh. Be quiet. The old man said. Answer my questions if you got some integrity. 1. What did you feel when your teammates died?
Nothing much.
Denji answered.
I was like, they're dead.
Power smiled. 2. Do you want to get revenge?
I don't like revenge stuff. Too dark and brooding.
Me too.
And 3. Humans or devils? Which side is your integrity on? And they both went silent. They had no answer until they thought of something.
The side that'll take care of me.
The side that's winning.
And he looked back, turned around, with a scar stretched across his left cheek. You both get a perfect score, he said, pointing at them while holding a flask of alcohol.
Huh?
Types like you two are far and few between. That's integrity. Excellent. I love you. I love you so much.
I'm scared, Denji.
Makima, you could go. Their train begins right here, right now. They will learn integrity, and they will understand it. Makima was stunned at what he said. Then she turned around and walked away.
Oh, well, I'll leave you to it.
Miss Makima.
And suddenly, this mysterious guy slapped his arms over them, his cheek, resting his head on both their shoulders. He was just nice and quiet. I'm a devil hunter with Special Division 1. Makes me feel good to be called Master, so call me that. You will call me Master. You will get down on your knees and say Master. It will be like Japan, Master. I like booze, I like women, and I like killing devils. Have you ever liked killing devils? You just wrap your arm around their necks like this.
Huh?
And then you strangle them like you're wrangling a damn bull. God style. To be continued. Chainsaw Man, Chapter 30 by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Chainsaw Man, Chapter 30 by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Bruised and battered. Power and Denji collapsed on the ground, gasping for air. The mysterious man chugged his alcohol from the flask. Denji, with his eyes wide open, went, and Power struggled to move.
I can't get up.
Your muscle and skeletal structure is the same as ours, the mysterious man said. Snap the neck and you can't move. Now that's God style. And you will learn God. Integrity. You see, the difference between you and humans is...
I smell blood.
Power smiled as drool poured out of her mouth, and she was presented with a bag of blood. You recovered by drinking blood, you vampiric bastards. He poured blood into their mouths, and they got up with a little bit more energy.
God dang. What's your problem, dude?
And he guzzled some more alcohol. Makima asked me to train you kiddos up. You lack integrity.
What is it with your integrity?
Quiet, boy. She must be in a fix since the gun devil's after your heart for whatever your reason. But you're just a small fry who can be crushed in no time flat. That deservedly so, you Christ-hating boy.
Hey, why did you just attack us?
Because you have no integrity, child. Now, I've trained humans before, but devils like you two, never done it, not once, and I love the challenge. I thought about what to do while I was drunk, and then a light bulb finally went off in my alcohol-addled brain. I should have been drinking whiskey instead of Zima. I'm the strongest devil hunter around to be drinking Zima. It takes balls to do that, you understand that? And a devil who could take down a powerhouse like me would be a powerhouse themselves. So I'm gonna keep hunting you two down because you two are wusses. And until you're able to defeat me, you got no integrity.
He's like out of his mind.
Totally.
Let's try this again, children. You are the quiet boy, and you are the quiet girl, and I'm here with the cross.
Drunk geezer or no, we'll get arrested if we go and kill him.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
My Power immediately made the blood splurt out of her wrist and created a hammer and threw it right at Denji.
Denji?
Thank you.
And they both walked right up to the old man. Denji threw a quick swing from the right. The old man ducked and shanked him 3 times fast in the back of between the shoulder blades. Then he shanked Denji through the chin, gutting through his brain and jutting out the top of his head. Power, meanwhile, took the hammer and lunged in at him, but suddenly her throat was slit wide open. Denji collapsed with blood gushing out. Power struggled to speak.
Ah, God.
And he held his blade up very quietly, very calmly. He says, "The boy is immortal. The fiend's semi-immortal. And you have the mindset of a choir boy and a choir girl. To be able to bash a person's head in with no hesitation, none of you has human rights. You want to know why you don't have human rights? Because you're Democrats. And you're dealing with a Republican here. And I don't like Democrats. I'm going to turn you into Republicans. Because ever since I was a tyke, I've been so strong in my Republicanism that I'd break my toys in no time the second I heard Jesus' name spoken in blasphemy. I've always wanted some unbreakable toys. And you two are unbreakable toys. I'm going to turn you choir children into the baddest of the badasses. You will be Republicans. You will not be Libertarians. You will not be Green Party. And you most definitely not be Democrats. Do I make myself clear, children?"
Oh.
They said as blood spilled out like an ocean across the grassy floor. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, "Con!" Aki said. Then nothing happened. As Kurose and Tendo stared at him. "See, it won't come out. Used the fox recklessly and got on his bad side. It probably won't ever let you use it again." Aki stared at his hand gesture. Then he looked over at his sword. "And that sword is from the cursed devil, right? How many more times can you use that?" "Well, son, so that's what you meant by training. I understand. Dang it." "Glad you're so quick on the uptake. Now we're gonna go and get some of that moonshine and we're gonna do some good old drinking. But first, we're here to do career coaching for the humans in the special division."
But first, we're here to do career coaching for the humans in the special division. This may be inappropriate to say, but we expected you to call it quits after this latest incident, and in fact, someone from your division did move to the civilian sector.
"And if you're going to carry on with the job, we need you to be significantly prepared." "Prepared for what, son?" "Yes, prepared. I was asking you a question."
Well, if you aren't quitting, then then it's looking like we'll have to have you contract with a stronger devil to contribute to the special division. Will you quit public safety and enjoy the life you have left, or will you stay on and see hell?
"Well, that's a tough question for someone like me. But unfortunately, the one who killed my family and the one who killed my buddy are both still alive, and I can't let that happen. The man don't know how to use a gun properly, and we gotta teach him how to use guns properly, making us look bad. You understand what I'm saying? That gun devil's no good. Wow, how could I quit after all? Why would I quit?" "I see. I understood. It's already pretty late. We'll leave for today. We'll be back tomorrow with the paperwork and whatnot." "Fine." Aki looked out at the window. "Looks like what I seen in Kyoto told us was true." "What did she say?" Be careful. Everybody in the special division is insane," they said. "And they ain't lying. You might want to take a more objective look at yourself. You're as insane as they come." "Oh." "By the way, there's a woman here to see you. I think she wants to do something." "I ain't got time for this. I'm a virgin, son. I gotta do some religious praying and such. Mourn my dead." "Well then, take your time." And the door opened up, and it was a young woman. Aki lifted his head up. He saw who it was, and his eyes grew wide, and his mouth was agape. She stood before him with a bag, and they had their conversation. Meanwhile, back at the graveyard, the night fell. It had gotten dark. There was hardly anyone in sight, not even light. The old unnamed man, looked back at them. Now I'm going home to sleep, children. You had good song choir, like the choir children that you are, and I'll pick you up at your place tomorrow. You better be ready. Denji, with his shirt off, was exhausted. Power struggling to stay up, using Denji as leverage. They took long, deep breaths, covered in blood, bruises, and whatnot. And Denji collapsed. All he could do was drool.
Whoa! Whoa!
Power, in pure anger, started to throw her arms up into the air.
His brain broke again. Get better. Get better.
Guys! Oh! How many times did I get killed today? How the heck am I getting killed today? Am I the Highlander?
Nah, not even close. You got killed at least 20 times. That must be a record. I'm not exactly sure because whenever you died, I was usually unconscious too. Get your ass up.
And Denji and Power stood up, staring out in the darkness.
That geezer's too strong. If we gotta keep living like this, we're gonna be seriously unhappy.
Yeah, I worked so hard, so far to get happiness. Now it's hard and be unhappy. That's crap.
Well then, we should sleep together.
If we ran, I'd be running from public safety. Pretty sure this time we'd get the devil treatment for real. And I don't know if I can handle the power of Christ, given what we've just experienced.
Denji and Power stared out at the road leading into absolute darkness, reflecting on the idea of running away.
That drunk bastard! He thinks he can treat us like toys. I'm starting to really get mad.
I got it!
Power raised her arms up.
You got what?
A way to defeat him! He's super strong, but with my brains and his alcohol-rotted mind, we should fight him using our minds.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I've been totally thinking about that, lady. They say 2 heads are better than 1. Like, how cool would it be if I could fight like one of those brainy characters in manga and stuff, you know? And get to wear the glasses and I get to reorganize it and everything, you know? Lift it up with only my middle finger and give him the finger or something.
Yeah, let's murder him with our intellect.
Oh man, I feel like I've gotten way smarter already.
To be continued. Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Well, now we got to see some of the aftermath in the set of chapters here. Poor Aki, you know, he was broken down into tears and everything. A very, very rare sight to see from Aki. You know, it's like all tough and everything. And I like that, quite honestly. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Because too many times you have these characters like Aki, in the sense like, say, Sasuke and a few others, you know, that want to be all gruff and tough in here. But to see Aki, you know, really break down in tears shows that, yeah, you know, this trope is not, doesn't have to always be, you know, this hardcore, stoic, moody type of character, and it was very well done. Power and Denji, as usual, being their usual crazy self and everything. We find out that Aki's down to 2 years of his life, so he doesn't have much to go for. And you know, we see the breakdown already, you know, already happening right here, because now he realized Himeno's gone, and you know, the whole cigarette thing is just not what it is for him and everything. So yeah, I mean, her death was pretty shocking and whatnot, and they caught it very well. It was really captured very well here, as you can see. Very rare to see, you know, this type of trope character with the, you know, with the moody Sasuke-ness to it, and I'm glad to see how different that is. And that just leaves us with with Denji over here having, you know, a realization that he's not feeling anything for Himeno, and it makes sense. It makes sense. He was sad for Pochita because he had been with Pochita for a very, very long time, but he only been with Himino a very short time. He only got to know her for a couple of hours, overnight. And I'm sure, and it got him wondering, if he's losing his humanity or anything. But I think what it is that it's really a case of only knowing Himeno for a couple of hours compared to Aki, who knew her for most of his life since childhood. You know, much like how Denji knew Pochita since childhood, and he cried for Pochita. And it's very interesting to see him thinking about that because his he doesn't understand human interaction and everything. He doesn't understand what it's like to be around humans, to do things with humans because of the way he grew up in the streets and everything. And for him to even contemplate if he is if he's losing his feelings, the truth is he's not really losing his feelings at all. It's just that he only knew Himeno for a couple of hours compared to Aki. Much like Aki wouldn't cry for Pochita because he hadn't been around Pochita, so he wouldn't understand, why Denji would be in tears, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So this actually was very well done. I really like that. Because it shows that Denji's lack of human interaction throughout his childhood really affected had an incredible effect on him, and the fact that he's even thinking about it more so than anything else, even though he only known Himeno and he's questioning why he's not crying and if he can still express the same things, it shows that there's still humanity in him. There is still humanity. He has not, despite the fact that he's an immortal devil, according to the old man. He is expressing feelings. The what I'm saying, him questioning it and having introspection on that shows that there is humanity in him, and those are the kind of things that Pochita wants to see and experience, and it's a very well crafted approach to the whole thing here. Eventually we end up with Kurose and Tendo meeting up with Aki on a deal, and Denji and Power being sent to training. A little over the top, but hey, we gotta have fun, we gotta have a lot of fun, you know. But nevertheless, yeah, that's basically what was moved forward on with these two chapters. It's just prepping up Denji and Power into a fight, and I gotta say, this is so funny, man. The chokeholds. That it's pretty funny. He's like, "Let me give you a hug here," and he does it so quietly. These are the little quirks to it. But I like I liked how well detailed the art right here with the three of them are with the creases. Like he really Tatsuki Fujimoto really leaned hard into those creases, I gotta say. But I also like that first person point of view with the two panels on the top. You kind of feel like you're in his position with the hug and so on. So yeah, overall it was a pretty good chapter because we really got the introspection, and then we have our training arc now with Denji and Power. All throughout we starting to learn now more of the rules of the world. So we got some more rule making going on here. Find out that despite that they're devils, despite the fact that they're devils, they still have this muscle and skeletal structure of a human being, and that they recover by drinking blood. So that's a new rule that got added in this chapter, which is pretty good because now we know that Denji's got to drink blood, just like a devil does if he wants to get strength. Even though both of them can still eat human food like Yotza and ramen. If they really want to get that energy and power up, they got to drink blood, and so that's a very interesting mechanic that was put into here. That blood powers them up and everything, and pretty much for the rest of this chapter, it's just them doing fighting for training, which leads to this pretty gruesome yet awesome fast shank. Like this guy can really duck and shank. He's like, and then shoves a knife through Denji's head, just all the way through, nice and clean, off the top. But yeah, pretty much it's just all about training for not just only Denji and Power, but also now we're finding out that Aki's also going to get training as well. So this is all pretty much. So what's good is that we got the pacing. The story moved along with Power and Denji, and with Aki, we now have the setup that he's going to do some training, specialized training, courtesy of Kurose and Tendo, and we get a little bit more insight into the division and how they perceive their agents as being insane and crazy by reputation, which is pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. And of course, Aki, ends up getting a visit from a young woman that we never meet. I don't think we're gonna meet her again. I guess not. But nevertheless, we conclude with oddly enough, Denji and Power, thinking about running off, but interestingly enough, they chose not to do it. I mean, it's very interesting. It seems like they were put there on purpose, by Makima and the old guy, and they were given the choice: you either run and die and be killed as devils, or stick around and endure the training. And these two fools decided, we have brains, we have intellect. We have brains. Let's use our brains. What brains do these two have? I have no idea. It's hilarious. What a couple, though. I've really loved how Power and Denji, a cat and a dog, just came together the way they did. It's just pretty cool. Very well done overall. So yeah, that is this week's set of Chainsaw Man chapters. We are now on the last on the final stretch to closing out season 1 of Chainsaw Man, parallel with the manga and the anime. So we'll see what happens. Because we'll be closing it out on chapter 38. So we're on good pacing here. So yeah. Let's do our best, as they say in anime. Ganbatte ne. All right. So thank you all for joining me. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, follow. You want to. Head on over to Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com and grab yourself a copy of The Apostle Man, strange fantasy novel written by me. Available right now. You'll find the link down below in the description. If you are interested in participating with this whole little venture of mine, head on over to Patreon. You'll find the link down below and join in on the fun. And if you're interested in trying out, checking me out, doing all this live, you can catch my live multi-stream over on Twitch and Kick. You'll find the links down below as well, along with all the other merch and fun stuff, all related to Coqui-san and cool things. Yeah, there we go. All right. So thank you all once again for joining me, and I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.